Hey there, how we doing today, everybody? Today is my core day training video. This is my second week of clinicals for pharmacy school. So I had to work out really early this morning. I'm doing this voiceover a bit later in the day. This was right after the sun had first came up, and it was pretty cold outside. Despite there being some sunshine, it was I'd say low 40s Fahrenheit, somewhere around 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. But we had a great workout. Today, like I was saying, was core day, so today we hit front lever, human flag, back lever, even some dragon flag for the skill training. For the working sets, we hit leg raises on the rings. Then I done some 45-degree flag holds, and then hit some back extensions, and sorry if you hear my wife in the other room. She has a meeting today, but anyways, we hit some back extensions for that last working set. So on the skill training, I feel like I done really well. I could really feel some gains. I could really feel some progress today. Give me 1 second, please. Alrighty, I'm back. Anyways, I was saying on the skill training today, I feel like I made a lot of progress. On the human flag specifically, my progress has really been exponential, so to say. And I think that comes down to where I've trained for so long. I have a really good foundation of overall body strength. But what's held me back is I was doing the wrong technique. And now that I have corrected that, and now I'm doing the correct technique, I feel like I'm progressing much faster than the average person would expect to progress. If they had started training the human flag from square one and did not have the the overall strength level that I have. And we all got to start somewhere, and that's okay. You don't have to have the same level of strength that I have to be able to learn something from the stuff that you see me doing. Something I love about calisthenics is, it's a lot of brain and not just muscle. You have to really think about how to make exercises easier or more difficult depending on the level you're at. I am nowhere near the top level of calisthenics athletes. I'm just a hobbyist athlete. I do this for fun. I do this, for health benefits, to stay in shape and help me stay sane while I deal with pharmacy school and, the other rigors of life. But anyways, if you see me doing something that you cannot do, think about how you, from a physics perspective, how you would make that easier. Like say I held a 5 pound, a 2.5 kilogram weight out in my hand, and I fully extended my arm. How could I make that easier? Because obviously, after 20 or 30 seconds, that's going to feel very heavy. So how would I make that easier? I could make that easier by pulling my hand in closer to my body, and that shortens the lever between my shoulder and the weight in my hand. And the same principle can be applied here to the front lever. I can make this front lever easier. As you see there, I'm shortening the lever. I'm drawing my legs in closer to my center of gravity. So don't ever feel like, it's impossible for you to do these things. Don't ever feel like you'll never be able to do what you see me do, because I promise you, I am not special. I am nowhere near the top level of athletes. I'm just an average guy. I'm in pharmacy school. This is just a hobby. And, You know, I mean, look at my belly there. I have the belly fat going on. You know, I'm nowhere near, you know, a top level athlete. You just have to break these things down into little pieces, and that's what I'm doing right there. You know, I'm training human flag, and I can't quite do a full human flag, so what am I doing? I'm breaking it down into building blocks. Right now, this building block I'm currently working on is I'm kicking up into the very top of the human flag, where my weight is my body weight is very close to the center of gravity, and you can see me to kind of extend out a little bit there. But I'm shortening that lever again, you know, the same thing I mentioned when I was training the front lever there earlier. I'm shortening that lever, and that makes it easier for me to hold. And say, you know, you can't even do that. Say you can't even do a pull-up. How do you make a pull-up easier? If you'll look in the background there, you'll see my parallel bars. You can do what's called Australian pull-ups. It's where you are not... Look at that. I've really progressed today on the human flag, like I was saying. But look up Australian pull-ups, and it's just another thing where you are decreasing the amount of resistance in a regular pull-up. And you do so by leaving your feet on the ground, and you're still training the pull-up position, this pull-up movement, but you're doing so by decreasing your body weight because your feet stay on the ground. You know, we can always try to think about, like I was saying, from a physics perspective of how to make something easier or how to make something more difficult. You'll see there on this first attempt of the back lever, that was full resistance, full intensity, because I had the lever fully extended. And then I wanted to take this the second attempt a little bit easier here. So what did I do? I went straddle, because straddle shortens that lever just the tiniest little bit, where your feet aren't straight out, instead they're apart. It's all about physics, and not complicated physics, but very, very simple physics. Here we hit some dragon flag today, and it had been a few days, probably a few weeks since I've hit dragon flag. But it was nice to dust the cobwebs off of the dragon flag, so to say. I feel like I've done pretty well on this today. This honestly probably is the best I've ever done on dragon flag, and I haven't even been training it. But what I have been training is other skills and other exercises that really build up my core strength. I think I impressed myself with though today with these dragon flag walks. And then you'll see me there demonstrating that same principle where I'm shortening the lever, and it makes it easier. Alrighty, so now we're going to get into the working sets. This is where I'm trying to fatigue the muscles. In that previous skill training you saw, I was not trying to fatigue the muscles. I was just trying to practice the technique. Here I'm going to be trying to practice good technique, but I am also going to be chasing failure. I'm going to be chasing muscle fatigue, chasing muscle breakdown. Something that's really helped me improve my rep quality on this exercise lately is pointing the toes and trying to keep the legs rigid. That has, I feel, has really improved the quality of my reps on the leg raises. I was feeling that here on this the second set of these. I think I hit a couple more reps, and I think when I got down, I could really feel that fatigue I was mentioning. Taking a few deep breaths there, and then jumping up and starting the set. You'll notice I'm really trying to point the toes, keeping those legs rigid. I'm really trying to time the contractions with the swing of the rings. to try and minimize momentum as much as I can. Really trying to stabilize that movement, which is a lot more challenging on something that swings like the rings compared to something like those parallel bars that I spoke about earlier. Yeah, I was feeling that. But that's good. That's what we're trying to do. We know when we're feeling the muscle fatigue like that, when we finish the set, that we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're breaking down those muscle fibers. Our bodies are adaptation machines. When we go in and we rest and we take it easy, our bodies will build those muscles back just a little bit stronger. And then over time, repeating that cycle is how we build muscle size and strength. Look at this exercise here, these 45-degree flag tilts. I absolutely love this exercise. This is a great building block for the human flag. You have to build the foundation before you can build the house, so to say. And this is a really great building block to build that foundational strength that is needed to hold a human flag. And I'm pulling as hard as I can with that top arm, and I'm pushing as hard as I can with the bottom arm. My top shoulder is back, and my bottom shoulder is forward. And I'm trying to rotate my torso as one unit up towards the sky and away from that bottom arm. And I think on this second set here, I done even better. I think I was targeting around 10 seconds of full extension hold, and then I would break into a sort of a half lay and try to get a little bit more elevation for another approximate 10-second hold. Those were probably a little shorter than 10 seconds, because you've never imagined counting fast until you are holding something like this. You would be amazed at how fast you can count. Even if you try to count, like I said before, where you say 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, it's still, you still end up counting very fast to try and end your suffering as you're holding these positions. But I could really feel that in my core. So I know I was doing what I was supposed to do. Here we're going for the back extensions. See how well I can do grabbing the ball today. This is a 10-pound, approximately 4.5 to 5 kilograms medicine ball. I think I had a little smile there because I was able to grab it without much difficulty. And that's a little bit of an inside joke because I don't know if you watched my videos. It was a core day I did. It was either last week or the week before. It was raining and the ball had gotten wet and slippery. And I think I spent a good 30 to 40 seconds trying to pick up the medicine ball before I could start the set. And I left it in the video. I didn't cut it out just because it was funny. And, sometimes that's what we have to go through in our training, especially when you have an outside setup like myself. Alrighty, making sure I got the ball nice and close where I can grab it pretty easy. And then I'll go hop up on the bar to start the set. Going down real slow on these, and then trying to explode up, as I've talked about with with a lot of other exercises that are working sets. I always try to have an explosive positive and a controlled and a slow negative. 1 second or less on the positive, 2 to 3 seconds on the negative. Always have control. And again, that is just for working sets. That is not for skill practice. Skill practice should always be slow and controlled, positive and negative. Could really feel that in my lower back. Those spinae erector muscles, for those of you that are anatomy fans like myself. Alrighty, so had in mind here I was going to do a little bit of freestyle, but I was at the end of my training day. I was pretty wore out. I did do a little bit of freestyle, but I had decreased the difficulty, and I didn't really think about what I was doing, so to say. So that was sort of a bar hop over with direction change, which is the most recent thing I've been working on. Was a little bit of a boo-boo, but I just went with it, and then I went straight into the stretch out and the spinal decompression I get here by hanging upside down by my legs. And now we're just stretching out, doing a little body composition show. You see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm by no means an incredibly athletic person. I'm just an average guy, that likes to work out. This is a hobby for me. So don't ever feel like, you're in a position where you can't work out, where you'll never be able to do the things that you see me doing. I'm somewhat of a lazy person. I'm sure there are many other people that are a lot more active than myself, and are probably, there's definitely people who are a lot more advanced at this stuff than myself. But what I'm getting at, what I'm rambling about, is anyone can do it. You just have to start somewhere. It's not like I woke up one day and I was magically able to do this stuff. I've been training now for about 15, 16 years or so. I'm almost 31 years old. I'll be 31 here real soon. Been training since I was somewhere around 15 years old. And the thing is just be consistent, always be active, always be doing something. Even on rest day, it's a good idea to do like some light cardio, some mild cardio, or just work on your flexibility and stretching out. Maybe go take a walk through the park or walk around town. Always be doing something, always be active. That does a lot of good things for your body. It will help with your recovery, help you burn a few extra calories. And we get one life, so you gotta send it. Have fun, be healthy, stay active, and have a good time. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Leave any questions or comments below. Happy training. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.